Hello, Mid-Michigan, and welcome to high school softball on what is going to be the busiest week so far with the Mid-Michigan Sports Network since our birth this fall, or August 1st, I shall say, as we have got action for you every single day this week. Today, it is Ithaca softball as we are here as they take on Freeland, kind of playing up a division, are these 17-3 Yellow Jackets. Fresh off of some big victories, including besting the number one team in the state in a sweep versus Everett last week, but Everett will still be a force come the D3 playoffs. Don't get anything twisted about that. So tomorrow, Sacred Heart Academy softballs, they've got maybe their toughest MSAT conference test so far this year as they take on Merrill. Wednesday, we've got a huge game in the Jack Pine Conference for the boys as Shepherd hosts Standish Sterling. Thursday, we get our first look at the Mount Pleasant Oiler boys as they take on Midland Dow. I don't think I need to say much more than that. The SVL rival Midland Dow. And then Friday, we're doing a little golf action, baby. We're going to be out at the Polecat for the Oiler 36 with Bubba McLean and the crew, talking with some of the coaches. If we can get a few of those golfers to sit down and chat with me, we will do that as well. But today, we're in Ithaca for our first actual look at the 17-3 Ithaca Yellow Jackets. I've been at several of their games this year. I was able to see their first game victory over Everett last week when Ivy Davenport shut out the number one team in the state. I saw them very first game of the year. Wasn't quite nice enough to broadcast out, but they got swept by highly ranked Clare and their very first outcome of the year. But that was with Ivy Davenport just kind of coming back after missing a lot of time with injury. Again, she is a force on the mound. Shut out the number one team in the state last week. We're going to take a break here on our Woods Household pregame show. But when we come back, we're going to talk all about this Yellow Jackets team. We'll talk about this Freeland team as well. They come in with an 8-7 record, but that's 7. They're all pretty darn good losses. Going to take a break here. It is the Woods Household pregame show. Chris Bachman with you here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. For over 4 decades, ENS Graphics has delivered confidence, trust, and peace of mind by providing their customers with expert service and using state-of-the-art technology. We all know in sports, what's on the inside counts the most. But when it comes to your business, school, organization, what's on the outside does matter. If your business needs anything printed, ENS Graphics can do it. If you want your club, team, organization to look good, ENS can help with that. They take your vision and make it their mission. ENS Graphics, a proud supporter of the Mid-Michigan community and their local athletes. Visit ENS Graphics at their location down in Ithaca or visit their website at esgraphics.com. ENS Graphics, printing all things physical.
Hey guys, it's Tanya from Clark Modular Homes. I'm here to talk to you today about who we are and what we do. Clark's opened in 1983 and has been centrally located right here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. We have one of the largest display centers with around 12 to 15 homes on display all year round. We have a fully experienced staff. We also have an in-house project manager who can pull our permits and coordinate our job from start to finish. We are proud to have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. We are our own contractor, making it a one-stop shop for you for your home building needs. As the owner would say, we can do it all.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Chris Bachman here with you. And as I'm starting to learn about baseball, and again, I'm not knocking any officials. We need more. Head to MHSA.com, click on the Be the Referee tab, and get started. But I tell you, we're at 3:53 here. We were scheduled for that 4 p.m. first pitch. But I think with the captains and the coaches out there, we are just about ready to get started. It's going to be the home team in game number 1. They will be the away team in game number 2. And we're in the shade right now, but we also might be doing a little bit of test to the equipment, too, if we get caught out here in the sunlight or possibly the rain. It seems crazy that there's a 50% chance of rain every hour, but that's the best I can do at weather.com. But here we go. The Ithaca Yellow Jackets will start with what's going down in the field. because Ivy Davenport will start this game on the mound, and they will bat in the home half. She's on the mound. Behind the plate is Emily Schenkel. At first base, it's Maylee Aiken. At second base, Emma Janes. At short, it is Kennedy Ryan. At third, it will be Quinn McMurphy. Out in left field, Estes Purvis. Out in center field, it is going to be Hayden Whitmore. And out in right field is Chloe Skeeth. Chloe Skeeth will not be in the batting lineup. She's one of the designated players. Carly Brayman will be hitting for her in the number 8 spot. Leading things off, it's going to be Kennedy Ryan. Then Janes, Davenport, Schenkel, Aiken, McMurphy, Whitmore, Brayman, and Purvis. That will be the batting lineup for these Ithaca Yellow Jackets. Slide over to Freeland. Leading off for them will be Bryn Jamie at second base. Playing center field will be Jessica Mayette. She'll be batting second. Batting third will be Jenna Kowalski. She plays catcher. Batting in the cleanup spot will be Madeline McDonald playing first base. Hitting fifth, Grace DeShone. She'll be in left. Batting sixth will be Sophia Price. She'll be playing at third base. Emma DeShone will be at short. Batting seventh, Isabel Ranke out in right field. Batting eighth and batting ninth will be Brielle Coffey. She will be in the circle for Freeland. So you look at the records, 17-3 Ithaca, 8-7 Freeland, and you think, well, yeah, Freeland the big favorite. Ithaca the big favorite. Freeland has some really good losses. They've got 2 losses to Lake Fenton, who is a powerhouse, same as Beale City. They've also lost to Midland Dow, Alpena, and Ogama Heights. And so all those losses are to really, really strong teams. And in Midland Dow, Alpena, and Lake Fenton, I think they're all playing up a division there. Ogama Heights, really, really strong team in the Jack Pine Conference. And then if you've listened to anything here with the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, you know all about the Beale City Lady Aggies. He said it in the preseason, a murderer's row of a lineup, and that is exactly what they are. It is going to be unbelievable that the Hand Sacred Heart Academy could match up in the districts, because you got another team who could end up ranked there in Vesterberg towards the end of the year as well. Whoever comes out of that district alive is going to have a chance to go a long, long way. Last few warm-up tosses getting thrown right now. Ivy Davenport in the circle, a few tosses. Bryn Jamie warming up in the batter circle, getting ready to roll. And you feel bad for the girls that are going to be out in left field today. For Ithaca, that's going to be Estes Purvis, as she's kind of might have to hear this guy a little bit more than she would want to. All right, there is the throw down to second from Emily Schenkel to Kennedy Ryan, and we are ready to go with some Ithaca softball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Again, we're kind of field level out in left field. We're going to do the absolute best we can with the view, but if you want to consider this somewhat of an audio-only call, you know, that's what we're dealing with. But whether you're at work, just getting out of work, at home, in the car, whatever you're doing, thanks for making the Mid-Michigan Sports Network part of your Monday afternoon. As I said, we have got games all week. First one is going to miss for Davenport in the circle. Second one, that's also going to miss high. 2-0 to Bryn Jamie. Again, all the losses to Freeland, either playing up against a highly ranked team. 8-7 coming into today. 17-3 for Ithaca. Davenport's going to miss with that one high as well. 3-0 the count. Davenport steps in, ready to go again. That one will be over for a strike. 3-1 now the count to Bryn Jamie. Davenport winds it, deals with the 3-1. That one's going to be fouled off down the third baseline. That'll run the count full. Fantastic job here by Davenport battling back. And it was 3-0, now 3-2 after the strike and the foul ball. Stepping back in is Bryn Jamie. Here comes the 3-2. It's going to be popped down the first baseline, waiting for it to go foul. It will go foul. Kind of zooming in here so you can get a better look of what's going on the infield. We'll do the best we can with all the video action here today. Back at the dish is Jamie. Here comes the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Swing and a miss. Going down on strikes is Bryn Jamie. Ivy Davenport, you call her a strikeout queen. She could just mow him down on the mound. but she's also got great defense behind her as well. With Kennedy Ryan at short, you got Schenkel behind the plate. Janes at second. At first, Aiken. Third, McMurphy. Center field, it's Whitmore. Left field, it's Purvis. And out in right field, it's Skeeth. That one's going to be fouled back. 0-1 to Jessica Mayette, the center fielder here for the Freeland Falcons. Ithaca Yellow Jacket girls out there in the white, the navy blue lettering. Striped socks, the blue and the gold. Freeland out there in the white and the green with the green socks. Big swing and a miss there from Mayette as well. 0-2 the count. Davenport looking for another possible punch out here. Might be able to waste one here. Nobody on base in that 0-2 count. This one will be fouled off. On deck is the catcher, Kowalski. Madeline McDonald in the cleanup spot, hoping she gets an opportunity here in the top of the first inning. 0-0 the score. 0-2 the count with one out. Mayette at the plate. Davenport deals. Takes a little bit off of that one. Nice job holding off by Jessica Mayette. Count now 1-2 for Davenport. Center fielder wearing number 8, playing position number 8, steps back in. This one will be fouled off again. Count remains 1-2. Mayette seeing a lot of pitches here. She's fouled off a couple. Much thanks to go around to our great sponsors. As you know, we're coming to you from the Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. This one's going to be grounded. It's fielded cleanly over in time to first base for the out. So Davenport gets the strikeout and the put out. 2 up, 2 down for Freeland. And more love going out. Bill's Custom Fab, Gates Drilling and Service, the Bird All-American Grill, Weefrich Financial, Clark Modular Homes, and our pregame sponsor, Woods Household Appliance. Comes the first pitch of the third at-bat here in the inning as Davenport looks to go 1-2-3. Holding off at the plate is Kowalski batting from the left side. More love going out. J&J Auto, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, GNS Mechanical, along with ENS Graphics. That one's going to be fouled back. 1-1 the count. Due up for the Yellow Jackets, it's Kennedy Ryan, Emma Janes, along with Ivy Davenport. Stepping back into the left side, waiting for the 1-1. Taking a little bit off of that one, it drops over the strike zone for Davenport. The count now 1-2 to Kowalski. Davenport looking for a second strikeout here in the first inning. She winds and deals. It's going to bounce in there. Not a bad pitch in the situation. The count is now 2-2. Nice job blocking things at the plate from Schenkel. Here comes the 2-2 with 2 outs, top of the first inning. It's going to be grounded towards second base. It's fielded cleanly over in time for the out. Freeland goes 1, 2, 3 in the top of the first inning. And as I said, brought to you by our friends, it will say Clark Modular Homes, Gates Drilling and Service, along with Weefrich Financial. Due up next, it's Kennedy Ryan, Emma James, along with Ivy Davenport. Here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, it's Ithaca Softball. Get your yard ready for spring and summer with Martinez Lawn Care. Martinez Lawn Care is scheduling spring cleanups now, along with bush and tree trimming, landscaping needs, and scheduled mowing services. Find Martinez Lawn Care on Facebook or call them at 989-317-5536. Weefrich Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weefrich Financial. Weefrich Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeefrichFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Weefrich Financial, member SIPC. Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. In the circle, ready to rock is Brielle Coffey for Freeland. And it's Kendi Ryan stepping to the plate for the Ithaca Yellow Jackets. Well, a few of the girls will be playing at the next level for Ithaca. And they come in at 17-3. Freeland is 8-7, but you're also talking about a Division II Freeland, probably about twice the size of this Yellow Jacket school. And behind me here, off over my right shoulder, if I just point straight out with my right arm, maybe a little bit better way to put it. Bottom of the first inning, Kendi Ryan at the plate for the Yellow Jackets. First pitch, the star shortstop is going to miss, 1-0. Ryan steps back in, batting on the right side. Wearing number 3. Slow swing of that bat. She takes a home run swing at that one. 1-1 now the count. Interviewed Ryan and Emma Polash during volleyball season, 2 of their standout players. This one's going to be fouled off down the third baseline. It'll go foul. They'll run the count 1-2 to Ryan. Now on the mound, you got Brielle Coffey. Again, the competition that she has faced this year is absolutely stiff. That one's going to bounce in there. Nice job holding off that time from Kendi Ryan. Ryan at the dish. This one's going to be hit high. It's going to be a pop-up in the infield. Not an easy play with the wind out there, but making the catch at shortstop for Freeland is going to be Emma Deschon. You'll hear me drop that Deschon name a few times, as there's 2 Deschons for the Freeland Falcons. Playing in left field is Grace. Playing at shortstop is Emma. Here comes Emma Janes now for the Yellow Jackets. This one's going to be grounded towards first base. Not an easy play there at second, but a really nice job kind of charging in to make the play from Bryn Jamie, and she gets it over to first base in time for the out. 2 up, 2 down now for the Yellow Jackets. Ivy Davenport stepping in, looking to see if she can help her own cause. She's batting from the left side. She actually had the first highlight that I posted this year for any team. She helped Ithaca get on the board to get ahead of Clare in both teams' first game of the season. Clare ultimately went on to win both of those games. Davenport digs in, waits for that one. That one's going to miss low. 2-0 now the count to Ivy Davenport. Emily Schenkel on deck. She would love to have an opportunity to come up with Davenport on. This one's going to be fouled off by Davenport. 2-1 now the count. And more love going out to our friends, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, ENS Graphics, GNS Mechanical, Mount Pleasant Public Schools. They're hiring bus drivers. They need parapros right now. Those bus drivers, they get paid training and full bennies. Head to MT Pleasant Schools with an S, mtpleasantschools with an S.net to get started. That one is over for a strike looking to Davenport. Count is now 2-2. This one's going to be hit fair right in front of us here. Gets down to see if she's able to go extra bases. She charges into second for a stand-up double. Big time hit there for Ivy Davenport. First hit of the ball game as she doubles with a 2-2 count. That'll bring up Emily Schenkel with a chance to drive in a run here. And if you're this Ithaca team, get a feeling with Davenport on the mound. A lot of times that one run is all you need. Schenkel will step in. Batting from the right side with that runner at second base. Now have a pinch runner out there for the Yellow Jackets. Coming in to run is going to be Emma McCoon. Courtesy runner for Davenport. She gets ready to head back into the circle. We're scoreless here, bottom of the first inning. There's 2 outs, but a big moment right now with that runner at second base. At the plate is the cleanup hitter, Emily Schenkel. She takes strike 1. Schenkel digging back in. She's going to take that one for ball 1. 1-1 now the count to Schenkel. At second base is McCoon pinch running. Big double moments ago from Ivy Davenport. This one's going to be popped up. Will it get out of play? Not an opportunity for the catcher to make a play behind the plate. Count is now 1-2 to Schenkel. Couple practice swings. She kind of steps out for a moment. Gather herself for this big pitch here. Here comes the 1-2. This one's going to be hit foul. Maylee Aiken on deck. 1-2 the count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Runner at second base for the Yellow Jackets. At the plate, Emily Schenkel. She's going to reach out and just barely get a hold of this one. 1-2 will remain the count. Nice job by Schenkel there. She knows she's behind in the count. Just kind of reached out and made sure she stayed alive there. Count stays 1-2. Third base playing in a little bit. This one's going to be popped up. It'll get out of play once again. So the count remains 1-2. But this is pitch number 7 of the at-bat here for Schenkel. She battles at the plate, trying to drive in that run from second base with 2 outs. And with the speedy McCoon out there, you get one of the outfield, should be able to come in. This one's going to be drove out towards center field. They will get down for a hit. Coming in to score is McCoon. Stopping at first base is Schenkel, but she's got an RBI single to get the Yellow Jackets on the board. This one look like the Yellow Jackets might go 1-2-3, similar to Freeland in the top of the first. Ivy Davenport with 2 outs, doubles. And then Schenkel, a great job staying alive with 1-2, fouling off a few pitches. Then she ultimately drives in the RBI single. She'll now have a pinch runner come out for her with Maylee Aiken at the plate, who plays first base for the Yellow Jackets. 1-0 is the score here in the bottom of the first inning as the Yellow Jackets manufacture a run with 2 outs. This one's going to be drove right up the middle. Go for the easy out at first base. They're able to make it. So it is not 1-2-3 for the Yellow Jackets. They were able to drive in a run on the great hitting from Ivy Davenport and Emily Schenkel. Due up next for Ithaca in the bottom of the second, it'll be Quinn McMurphy, Hayden Whitmore, and Carly Brayman. Due up for Freeland, it is 4-5-6 with McDonald, DeShone, and Price. Back with more right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. When your team or business needs to look good, don't get left hanging. Call or stop by Hanging by a Thread in Wademan, the official embroiders for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Hanging by a Thread, a proud supporter of local schools.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We got a high fly ball to start off the second inning. Nice play out in center field. It's not an easy play to have to range and make that catch, but making it look easy out there was Hayden Whitmore. So starting the second inning, Madeline McDonald with a fly out to center field. Here comes Grace DeShone. She'll be batting from the left side, going against Davenport. Struck out 1 in the first. Davenport winds and deals. Not able to catch up with that one is DeShone. And you got Grace DeShone playing out in left field. Emma DeShone playing at shortstop for the Falcons. Davenport's ready with the 0-1. Takes a bit off of that one. It's going to stay high, though. 1-1 the count. And went 1-2-3 in the first. Jamie struck out. So pop out to the pitcher for Mayette, or ground out to the pitcher for Mayette. Then Jenna Kowalski grounded out to second base. Swing and a miss that time for DeShone. She's now down the count 1-2. Davenport winds and deals. This one's going to be fouled off down the third baseline. It will get out of play. Sophia Price on deck. Emma DeShone behind her. Grace DeShone at the plate. The left fielder batting from the left side. Here comes the 1-2 again. That one's going to be way high. A lot of smoke on that one in the 60s there, probably for Ivy Davenport. Davenport back in the circle. Swing and a miss. She has her second strikeout of the ball game to get DeShone. A little too tight there. Davenport winds and deals. That one will be high. And Schenkel behind the plate. That type of speed almost has to just jump up to try and catch up with some of that high heat from Davenport. Here comes the 1-1. So it's going to be popped down the third baseline. It'll just get out of play. Count will remain one. I guess now moves to 1-2. Pardon me. Price steps back in. Swing and a miss on that one. She goes down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts for Miss Davenport. We are headed to the bottom of the second inning. Due up for the Yellow Jackets. It's McMurphy, Whitmore, and Brayman. And we'll keep things right here to give some love to some more of our fantastic sponsors to make it possible for me to be here. Got to go back and count, but we're closing in on game 80. I remember when I told my sponsors 80 to 100 games before the year. It was kind of like, how are you going to do that? And I remember thinking in my mind, I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. But what a bunch of fun has been from football and volleyball, girls and boys basketball, and now moving to baseball and softball here in the spring. And you heard me say it earlier, just unbelievable what our softball is doing in this area. Ithaca 17-3, Beale City something like 15-2. It is just absolutely insane. At a slow point here, I'll go back and look at those records were when I posted them last week, and things could have changed a bit over the weekend, but just unbelievable softball here in the area. High fly ball to start off the bottom of the second inning. Not an easy play there at shortstop, but reaching up to make the catch for Freeland is going to be Miss Emma DeShone. So McMurphy on the first pitch pops out to the shortstop. Again, not an easy play at short as that thing was way up in the air. Stepping up now is Hayden Whitmore for the Yellow Jackets. She's batting from the left side. When you got a center fielder that bats from the left side, wouldn't be surprised, they call it the slap hitter. She just tries to put something down on the ground and use her speed to get to first base. 1-0 the count now to Whitmore as that first one misses. That one's going to get by the catcher. 2-0 now the count to Whitmore. Coffey back in the circle. Winds and deals with the right hand. So it's going to be sent towards third base. Not a hard hit ball, though, so it's an easy pop out and an easy catch over there at third for Sophia Price. And so far, just was it 4 pitches in the circle for Coffey to get those 2 outs. Now stepping up is Carly Brayman. She's a DH for the Yellow Jackets. She'll take that first pitch high and inside, 1-0 the count. Purvis on deck, then it's back to the top of the order. And Brayman, the DH, Chloe Skeeth is out in right field. She's going to take that one as well. 2-0 now the count to Brayman. Looks down the third baseline. Coach Shelby Schenkel for the sign. This one's going to be hit up the middle. Second base charging in to make the play. It will be in time for the out. So they go 3 up, 3 down here in the second inning. The Yellow Jackets still lead it 1-0. And sometimes when you got that girl named Ivy Davenport on the mound, 1 run is all you need. It's 7, 8, and 9 due up next for the Freeland Falcons as we take a break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Back with more right after this. Down in Ithaca, the Yellow Jackets on the softball diamond lead it 1-0 over Freeland. Clark Modular Homes in Mount Pleasant are a one-stop shop from the buy, the build, and beyond with their fantastic service department. Stop in to see their selection and purchase options today on Pickard Road or visit them online at modularhomesbyclark.com. Clark Modular Homes, supporting Mid-Michigan youth in and out of the classroom.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant. Good luck to all of our local athletes from Bill's Custom Fab.
The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Well, the Yellow Jackets making very quick work of Emma Deschone. She is already down. There's already one out here in the top of the third inning as we come back from our break. It's supposed to be 2 minutes in between, but I'm not complaining anybody. As I said, you got to get these games in. You never know what's going to happen with that Michigan weather as Ranke steps in batting from the right side. There's one out. The count is 0-1. She's going to take the number 2. 0-2 the count. Already 3 strikeouts through 2 innings for Ivy Davenport. 1-0. Yellow Jackets with the lead over Freeland here in the top of the third inning. Strike 3 looking. Ranke goes down. That is strikeout number 4 for Ivy Davenport. Now to the bottom of the order with Brielle Coffey, who's in the circle, the pitching counterpart for Freeland. Davenport winds and deals. Check swing that time at the plate for Coffey. She doesn't go. 1-0. Steps back in, batting from the right side. Davenport ready in the circle. That one in a perfect location on the inside corner, low for strike 1. 1-1 the count. In top third, 1-0 Ithaca with the lead. 2 outs. Davenport on the mound is rolling right now. Swing and a miss that time for Coffey. Davenport struck out 1 on the first, 2 in the second. Has a chance now to strike out 2 here in the third. Coffey swings and misses. She goes down on strikes in a quick 1, 2, 3 there for Freeland. Now they have now gone the full time through the order, and they have been able to get nothing, nada against Miss Ivy Davenport. She is perfect through 3. We're back with the 4th right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill buys standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes. Central Michigan Sand and Gravel, just like our student athletes, they bring it. If you need sand or gravel, they bring it to you with fast service and a great price. For all of your sand and gravel needs, call Central Michigan Sand and Gravel today at 989-382-7089. Central Michigan Sand and Gravel, a proud supporter of our student athletes competing for their schools. Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning has been family-owned and serving mid-Michigan since 1962. They're dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business. Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning is locally owned and supports our local community. For all of your heating and air conditioning needs, call Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning at 989-772-2881.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to that action here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Again, everybody working fast here. 0-1 the count to Purvis as she swung at the first pitch here this inning. She's going to foul this one off down the first baseline. No plate to be made on it as it goes near the Freeland dugout. Purvis, the left fielder, batting in the number 9 spot. Then it's back to the top of the order with Kennedy Ryan after her. Down the caught 0-2, and she grounds this one up the middle. My bad for missing that one. A big base hit there for Estes Purvis as she is on with the leadoff single, the first leadoff hitter to be on for either team. Through 3 innings, Ivy Davenport is perfect. She has struck out 5 of the 9 batters that she has faced. Coffey's been solid on the mound as well. Through those 2 innings, she had only given up the 2 hits with 2 outs. Now a leadoff single Forestus Purvis has her on first base for the leadoff hitter, Kennedy Ryan. Ryan shows bunt, goes down the third baseline. They feel that the only play is at first base. A beautiful sacrifice bunt there for Kennedy Ryan to move Purvis up to second base. Emma Janes now stepping up to the plate. And the reason why you do that is just trying to manufacture another run with Davenport on the mound. You got a girl who's been perfect the first time through the order. You definitely want to make sure you can get that second, third run, because you know you might not need more than that. First pitch of the at-bat to Janes is going to miss, 1-0. Sacrifice bunt from Ryan. It's got Speedy Purvis at second base. Emma Janes at the plate. Big swing and a miss on that one. 1-1 now, the count to Janes. Plays at second base for the Lady Yellow Jackets. Davenport on deck. She's already doubled, and Emma McCoon pinch ran for her and came around and scored. That one's going to miss. Now 2-1 now, the count to Janes. More love going out to friends. Isabella Community Sportsplex, the Berry Funeral Home, Mid-Michigan Industries, Boomer's Lawn Care, and Doozy's Ice Cream Place. That one's going to be over for a strike. That'll run the count to 2-2. More love to Rick's Food Center, almost up north, and Stitches for Britches, Schaefer's Bait and Sporting Goods, Gross Farms, and Brad Gross Electric. This girl's working so fast, hard for me to get a read in here. That one's going to be fouled off from Janes. 1 out, bottom of the third inning. The Yellow Jackets lead it 1-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Zoom it out here as we now do have that runner at second base. At the plate is Emma Janes. At second is Purvis. Here comes the pitch. This one's going to be fouled to the backstop. Count will remain 2-2. Pitch number 7 of the at-bat upcoming here. Big swing and a miss. A big-time strikeout there for Coffee, as there's now 2 out with that runner on second base for Ivy Davenport. Again, Davenport doubled and the pinch runner came around for her to score in the first inning. That's her only run of the ball game. It is 1-0, and Davenport in the circle was perfect her first time through against the Falcons. She's going to swing at the first pitch. She's going to foul it out of play down the third baseline. Schenkel on deck. Had the RBI single when she came up in the first and was stranded there. This one's going to be popped towards short. Not an easy play for Deshawn, but she's able to make it. That'll bring us to the end of 3. The score remains, pardon me, I want to say remain tied at 0, but no. Got to go back to that first inning when the Yellow Jackets did get that run across. It is 1-0, Ithaca with the lead. Due Up, brought to you by our friends at Gates Drilling and Service, the Bird All-American Grill, Clark Modular Homes, and Woods Household. Back to the top of the order with Bryn Jamie, Jessica Mayette, and Jenna Kowalski. And they went 0 for 9 that first time through the lineup. More love going out to our friends, Bogwai, Banga, and Bradley, WW Construction, the Fisher Companies, along with Kenneth Egger, DDS. And along with our friends, Bryce Updegraff, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, along with Joe Wentworth, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, Pier Plumbing, Hang by a Thread, Isabella Bank, Bryant Family Farms, All Seasons Fireworks, The Diner, Block Electric, Central Michigan Sand and Gravel, along with Martinez Lawn Care and JJ Painting. Think about that. Gates Drilling and Service, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, Drill of the Game, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Timber of the Game. It's got to be Davenport with her double. And then what you think about she's done on the mound, definitely in the running for that Zaid Batchelder Baller of the Game, brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial. First pitch of inning number 4 to Brid Jamie is going to be over for a strike. Davenport struck out 5 through 3. That one's just going to miss low. 1-1 now, the count to Jamie. Leadoff hitter for the Falcons, plays second base. 17-3 Ithaca, hosting 8-7 Freeland, but no bad losses in that 7. So it's going to be pop foul out of play. Count now 1-2 to Jamie. This is a situation you don't want to be in with Davenport. She can pull that string on you or just turn up the heat a little bit more. Davenport winds and deals at the 1-2. Taking the high strike, or taking the high pitch is Jamie, as it just misses above the zone. We're in the fourth inning. It's 1-0 Ithaca. Dominant performance on the mound from Davenport, the Yellow Jackets. Coffee for Freeland. And it is another strikeout. Punch-out number 6 for Ivy Davenport. With Jessica Mayette stepping up to the plate, and Jamie has now struck out twice. You always hear me say, I'm never going to rule it an error if I can't make the play. I couldn't imagine standing in the box with Davenport and the way some of these girls in the mid-Michigan area can zing it in there. Davenport winds and deals. They show bunt. Charging in from third base, ready for that was Quinn McMurphy. Great instincts from her. As soon as she saw that bunt, just a show of it, she was charging in, ready to go. Here comes the 1-0. They show bunt again. They pull it back. That one will be over for a strike. 1-1 now, the count to Mayette. You got a girl who plays center field, definitely a threat to drop down a bunt. When it's baseball or softball, if you're a center fielder, you're going to be one of the fastest players on the team. This one's going to be fouled off to the backstop. The count now 1-2. Already 6 punch-outs through 3 1/3 for Davenport. And she missed a lot of the year last year with an injury. Maybe not even back to full strength at this point. Shout out to the Ithaca girls. It was Kendi Ryan who took over on the mound for a bunch for her last year and did a great job. Here comes the 1-2. This one's going to hit right up the middle for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting there from Jessica Mayette. It is the first base runner of the ball game for Freeland, and it kind of finally can't. Still a long way to go for that perfect game, but the way that Davenport was throwing, I was starting to think about it. We'll kind of keep things zoomed out here a little bit more as we have that runner on first base. Stepping up to the plate, the number 3 hitter, Jenna Kowalski. She popped out to second. And the grounded out to second. One of the two back in the first inning. Davenport misses. 1-0 the count to Kowalski. Mayette had a bit of a jump there from first. Schenkel was ready to throw her out from home plate. Holding up at first was Mayette. This one's going to be grounded towards first. They get the easy out at first. Now looking to get the tag over at second. It's not there. But what a fantastic play at first base for Maylee Atkin. She got the sharp grounder, got the quick tag over at first, and then turned into a tag out at second. She zinged it up there to Kendi Ryan. She couldn't quite get the tag down, but an excellent play at first base from Maylee Atkin. Now 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Cleanup hitter Madeline McDonald stepping up to the plate. She flew out to center field to lead off the 2nd inning. At second base is Jessica Mayette. You could almost call that a sacrifice if you wanted to from Kowalski. McDonald looks down the third baseline. Coach Rybicki, she's ready to go. Runner at second base. The tying run at second base here in the top of the 4th inning. 1-0 Ithaca with the lead. That'll bounce in there. Schenkel keeps it in front of her, but she loses track of it for a moment, and that will allow the speedy Mayette to move up to third base. Big moment in this ball game now with 2 outs. We got that runner at third base. A 1-0 count to the cleanup hitter, Madeline McDonald. So it's going to be grounded. It's going to get through the hole for a base hit. Coming in to score is Mayette. And it's an RBI single for Madeline McDonald. We are now tied at 1 apiece. Each team with 2 hits now, manufacturing a run. 1-1 the score here, top 4. Davenport winds and deals. Schenkel almost throwing back behind that runner, trying to nab McDonald down at first base. Grace DeShone at the plate. She struck out her first time up. 6 punch-outs through 3 2/3 for Davenport in the circle. That one's also going to miss. 2-0 now the count to Grace DeShone. McDonald at first base after the RBI single. We are tied at 1 apiece here in the top of the 4th inning. That one's going to hit the outside corner. A great frame behind the plate from Emily Schenkel. 2-1 the count. 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. 1-0, pardon me. We are now tied as Freeland was able to manufacture a run here. Reaching first was Mayette, and he had a ground out from Kowalski. This essentially was a sacrifice, and the RBI single from McDonald to tie the game up at 1 apiece. It's a big cut that time from Deshawn. She swings through it. The count now 3-2. Already 6 punch-outs on the afternoon for Davenport. She winds and deals. And another punch-out for Davenport. Make it 7-4. But Freeland does come back and tie the game at 1 apiece. It's Schenkel, it's Aiken, it's McMurphy due up next for the Ithaca Yellow Jackets here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Actually, you know what? We'll keep it right here. They've been working pretty quick, but the next half inning, I'll be ready to, send it right out to make sure we get this commercial break in. Love going out to J&J Auto, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, Konwinski Construction, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, E&S Graphics, along with G&S Mechanical. And Woods Household, sponsor of our pregame show and the best seat in the house, which is definitely those umpires out there. One right behind the plate, one kind of right down the first baseline right now. But wherever they need to have the best view, they got the best view in the house. Brought to you by Woods Household Appliance. Head to the MHSA.com and click on the Be the Referee tab to get signed up. Not a bad way to make some extra dough. Also love to Weefrich Financial, Clark Modular Homes, the Bird All-American Grill, Bill's Custom Fab, Gates Drilling and Service. And we're coming to you from the Barberry Law Studios. Schenkel at the plate. She's 1 for 1 on the day with an RBI. Swings at the first pitch, reaches out and just kind of sends it down here the left field line, but it'll go foul. Maylee Aiken on deck. She grounded out to second base her first time up. McMurphy, after that, she popped out to the shortstop her first time up. Comes the next pitch. That one's going to miss. 1-1 now the count to Schenkel. I just feel like the catchers just got a little bit better eye out there. That one's going to miss low. 2-1 the count to Emily Schenkel. 1-1 is the score here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Great battle here between these two teams. This one's going to be popped down the first baseline, but it'll get out of play for Schenkel. Count now 2-2 to the catcher. Steps back out, takes a couple practice swings, getting ready to step back in on the right side and face Coffey. Brielle Coffey's been really good on the mound for Claire as well. You've heard me talk a lot about Davenport because of the strikeout numbers she's piling up. Only giving up 1 run now through 3 innings. Pretty darn impressive as well. Schenkel will take ball 4. A little broadcaster's jinx there for Coffey, my bad. But the leadoff runner is on, and Schenkel. Yellow Jackets got the leadoff runner on last inning in Estes Purvis. Candy Ryan sacrificed bunt, and then it was a strikeout and a pop-out to shortstop to end the inning. Leadoff runner on, bottom 4. 1-1 the score at the plate. First base, Maylee Aiken. She's going to take the first pitch. It's going to be low, but on the corner for strike 1. Coffey steps out, steps back in. Gets her right foot on the rubber there. It's a nice push off to get the speed. That one's also going to be fouled back. 0-2 the count to Aiken. At first base is Emily Schenkel. No pinch runner in for her. Nobody out. 0-2 the count. This one's going to be grounded towards the pitcher. She comes in to make the play. They look to toss it down to second for the tag out as well. It's not in time. Nice base running there from Emily Schenkel to be able to take second base. If she didn't jump on it right away, I don't know if she was going to make it. It was a really nice play on the mound from Coffey to get the out at first, and a nice heads-up play over at first base as well from Madeline McDonald to throw it down to second to see if they could get that force out. But Schenkel now safe at second, showing bunt this time. It's going to be a ball. They pull it away for Quinn McMurphy. Hayden Whitmore is on deck. They've got that runner at second base. Yellow Jackets trying to manufacture another run here. There's one out. Bottom of the fourth inning. At the plate is Quinn McMurphy, who plays third base. She shows bunt once again. She'll pull it back again. 2-0 now the count. No, actually, it's going to be 1-1. Pardon me. Let's say that first one was over for a strike. McMurphy popped out to the shortstop, her first time up. Coffey winds and deals. They show bunt again. She gets it down, but it goes foul. Kind of the side of the plate down the third baseline. That will take the bunt out of play here for McMurphy. One out. Bottom four. Yellow Jackets threatening again with a runner at second base. And one's going to bounce in there. A fantastic job behind the plate by Jenna Kowalski to keep that in front of her. So that bounces away from her. Schenkel's at third, and then it's another pass ball or a high fly ball to the outfield that could score that run. That one's going to miss. 3-2 now the count to McMurphy. It was a walk to Schenkel to get her on. Coffey ready with the 3-2. This one's going to be hit out towards right field. Not an easy play. It's going to get down for a base hit. Schenkel will have to hold up at third, though. At second, the ball is actually going to squirt away. Here comes the play at the plate. Schenkel's going to be in safely as the ball was dropped. Now moving up to third base is McMurphy. A big-time play there. McMurphy's going to get, in my column, an RBI double for that one, and she moves up to third, and Schenkel has an RBI and a run scored, and the Yellow Jackets are back in front, 2-1. The runner at third base, and still just one out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Center fielder Hayden Whitmore stepping to the plate for the Yellow Jackets. She shows bunt. It almost bounces away. Another nice job by Kowalski to keep that in front of her. That last one scampers away from Kowalski. Whitmore's going to come in and score, or pardon me, McMurphy's going to come in and score as well. Whitmore shows bunt at the plate. Again, it bounces in there. Again, a really nice block at the plate from Kowalski. Count now 2-0 to Whitmore. Raymond, the DH, on deck. Coach Schenkel, you just want one of these girls to drive in that other run from third base. That one's going to miss low. They look to throw that runner out down to third. Will not be in time. As I look at the scoreboard, it still has 1-1 up there. Game Changer does have it 2-1, which makes me feel a bit safer about it. Pardon me, wonder. There was a little teeny bit of contact at the plate, but I don't think you could have called any type of interference. It is a 4-pitch walk for Whitmore. She moves down to first. McMurphy remains at third. There's runners on the corners with one out for Carly Brayman. She'll step in batting from the right side. Big moment here with the Jackets up a run in the bottom of the fourth inning. Runners at the corners with one out. Now going to have a meeting on the mound here with Coach Michael Rybicki and the Freeland infield. It's one of those, I don't know if we're going to have a pitching change here. If we do, we'll send it to a break, but may have to cut it off in the middle because softball warm-ups are not necessarily as long as baseball warm-ups, but going to do everything we can to, make sure we get a break in from some of our great sponsors if we do see a break in the action here. 2-1, Ithaca leads it in the bottom of the fourth inning. There's runners on the corners with only one out. Brielle Coffey's actually been pretty darn solid on the mound for Freeland. You go back to the first inning, it was a double from Davenport and then an RBI single from Schenkel. She got things 1, 2, 3 in the second. In the third, she gave up a leadoff single, but then got him to go 1, 2, 3 after that. This inning, it's been a walk, a ground out to the pitcher, an RBI double, and now another walk. Brayman at the plate. DH, number 8 hitter for Ithaca. That's one thing I think you are saying if you're Coach Rybicki. Brayman Purvis very capable of making a big hit here, even sending one out. But if this gets back to the top of the order, this game is going to be trouble with Davenport on the mound. Brayman awaits the first pitch. It's going to miss high, 1-0. And it was a 4-pitch walk for Hayden Whitmore moments ago. So that's now 5 in a row that have missed for Coffee. She digs back in, winds, and this one's going to be grounded up the middle. Not an easy play for second base. Actually going to eat him up a little bit. Everybody's going to be safe. The run comes in to score. Bremen is safe at first. Whitmore moves up to second. McMurphy is in to score, and it is now 3-1 Yellow Jackets, with runners at first and second for Estes Purvis, who's already 1 for 1 on the day. Trying to do my best to zoom in so you can see it and get the action as well, but a little easy on your boy. He's doing the best he can here. This one's going to be fouled off on the first pitch for Purvis. Again, Kennedy Ryan on deck. She's technically 0 for 1 on the day, but she had a sacrifice bunt her second time up. 3-1 is the score. Yellow Jackets with the lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Purvis at the plate. She's going to foul this one off the backstop. Just missed that one. Purvis singled her only time up in the 3rd inning to lead it off. She was stranded at second base. Runners at first and second for the Yellow Jackets. 1 out. Bottom 4. They lead it 3-1 over Freeland. Purvis is going to take that one. 1-2 is the count. Purvis is going to take that one. 2-2. 3-1 is the score. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-2 the count to Purvis. 1 out. Kennedy Ryan, the leadoff hitter, on deck for the Yellow Jackets. They've got runners at first and second, looking to build on this lead. Big swing and a miss, faking the throw down to first base was the catcher Kowalski, but a big-time punch out there for Brielle Coffey. But the trouble continues as the leadoff hitter, Kennedy Ryan, steps to the plate with a pair of runners on. Coffey winds and deals in the circle. This one's going to be popped up. Ryan swinging at the first pitch, but it's not an easy play. It's going to get down in the outfield. They now do have a girl caught up in between second and third. She gets back safely. Ryan's back safely to first. It's an RBI for Kennedy Ryan, as that one just kind of found a hole out there for the senior. Whitmore was able to come in to score. Bremen is up to second base. It's now 4-1 Yellow Jackets, with Emma Jane stepping up to the plate. Runners remain at first and second for Ithaca here in the bottom of the 4th inning with 2 outs and a pair of runners on. Just a perfectly placed ball there from Kennedy Ryan. The way it popped up, it looked like it was going to be an easy play out in center or left or second base, but just kind of went into no ladies land, I will say, for the Falcons, and got down safely for the senior star for Ithaca. Janes takes that one. Count's now going to be 0-2 to Emma Janes. On deck is Ivy Davenport. Behind her is Emily Schenkel, who led off this inning with a walk and came around to score. It's 4-1. 2 runners on for the number 2 hitter for Ithaca. She'll take ball 1. Count now 1-2 to Emma Janes. Coffey winds and deals. That one is going to be high. Count now 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 with 2 outs. A whole lot of 2s up there, as my main man Aiden Mandel would say. That one misses high. Ball 3. You do not want to load the bases for Miss Ivy Davenport. She doubled her first time up and came around to score the first run of the ball game for Ithaca. This one's going to be fouled out of play. We'll do the 3-2 once again. A really nice bat here for Emma Janes. This will be pitch number 7 that she will see, but I don't think she really cares unless she gets herself a hit here to try and drive in a run. That one's going to bounce in there. It will be another walk for Ithaca, their 3rd of this inning. Bremen's at 3rd. Ryan's at 2nd. Janes is at 1st with Davenport at the plate. She has been dominant in the circle for the Yellow Jackets. Now a chance to continue to help out her cause here with the bases loaded full of Yellow Jackets. Now meeting on the mound here. I like this move. Kowalski from behind the plate. making sure teammate in the mound has got things exactly the way they should be. Emily Schenkel is on deck. She started this inning with a walk and came around to score. Maylee Aiken grounded out to the pitcher. He could have called it a sacrifice bunt if he pretty much wanted to. McMurphy then had an RBI double. Whitmore walked. Brayman was able to reach base. Purvis struck out. Then back to the top of the order with Ryan. She had an RBI single. Janes walked. Now the bases are loaded for Ivy Davenport. And some changes being made now. Freeland's going to bring a couple girls in and out now and maybe get a pitcher warming up here as Coffey steps back into the circle. A big moment here with 2 outs. The bases are loaded. They trail 4-1. You got a feeling here if Davenport puts this in play, Ithaca's going to be feeling very, very safe with the star on the in the circle. First one looked like it was in there for a strike. 0-1 to Davenport. That one's going to miss high. 1-1. And if Davenport gets on here or walks, the Yellow Jacket girls will have officially batted around here in the 4th inning. Coming into this inning, it was a 1-1 game. They look to get the out in between third and home, and they do. A big-time play there from Freeland. What a play from Kowalski behind the plate as they get Carly Brayman trying to go out from third to home, and that is big time if you are Freeland. The score remains 4-1, and already 7 strikeouts through 4 for Ivy Davenport. If you are Freeland, you needed that right there. The Yellow Jackets leave them loaded. We're back with the 5th inning right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hey, Rowan, want to toss the ball around?
No, thanks.
A quick game of chess?
Maybe later.
Want me to teach you to ride a bike?
Papa, we did all that when I was little.
I guess you're right. Marbury-Law's kept me so busy, time has just flown by.
There is one thing, though. You got any cookies?
Thought you'd never ask.
Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes, working hard and showing pride for our community. For all of your real estate needs, go with Joe. Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-817-1291.
Block Electric Company is a proud supporter of local schools and high school student athletes, learning skills in and out of the classroom to lead our communities tomorrow. Good luck to all student athletes from Block Electric, and go Aggies! Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Working quickly, they are. The count is already 1-1 to Miss Sophia Price at the plate. Davenport back in the circle. She has already struck out 7 through 4. This one's going to be hit right back to Davenport. Pretty much has to reach out the glove to save her life. She's able to do so and make the catch. So a line out to the pitcher for the first out here in inning number 5. The Yellow Jackets come into this game at 17-3. Freeland 8-7, but all 7 of their losses are to really, really good schools. 2 to Fenton, or Lake Fenton, 2 to Beale City, 1 to Dow, 1 to Alpena, and 1 to Ogama. No bad losses in there for Freeland. Talking with Coach Rybicki, that is by design to get his team ready for the playoffs. Here comes a liner into center field for a base hit. Excellent piece of hitting there from Emma Deschone. So she is on with the single. 4-1 is the score here in the top of the 5th inning. Freeland doing just what they need to do, getting a base run around there, trying to turn it back to the top of the order. Here comes Isabel Ranke. Plays out in right field. She struck out her first time up. Check swing there. Waiting to see if they say she went or not. Right here below the scoreboard. Yeah, that one will be called a strike. So when you're right behind the umpire, you can kind of hear that call. Here comes a bunt, sacrifice. They get it over in time for the out. That runner does move up to second base. So sacrifice, bunt there Rinke moves up that runner, but there is now 2 outs for Coffee stepping up to the plate. Big moment here. I think they're expecting Coffee to drive in this run. St. Price lined out to the pitcher to start the inning. Deshaun singled. Rinke with the sacrifice bunt. Now here comes Coffee with 2 outs. He's going to take strike 1. Bottom of the order here for Freeland. Back to the top of the order after this. Just 2 hits surrendered for Davenport. Swing and a miss that time for Coffee. She's down on the count 0-2. 7 strikeouts as well for Davenport. She winds, deals. That one's going to miss high. 1-2 the count to Coffee. This one's going to be pop foul. It'll get out of play. Count will remain 1-2. Runner at second base. There's 2 outs. Ithaca leads it 4-1 here in the top of the 5th inning versus Freeland. 17-3 on the year. This one will be fouled back. Great job by Coffee staying alive. And Coffee's been solid on the mound for Freeland other than a couple walks. Maybe could say a couple misplayed balls behind her as well. 4-1 the score. Swings and misses at that one. It is strikeout number 8 for Miss Ivy Davenport. What a dominant performance for her. She'll be back up at the plate along with Emily Schenkel and Maylee Aiken when we come back here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Yellow Jackets lead it 4-1 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. The Diner, where homemade favorites come to life every day for breakfast and lunch. From fluffy pancakes to savory sandwiches, The Diner has your cravings covered. Discover the perfect blend of comfort food and camaraderie at The Diner. Join them every Friday night till 7 for their famous fish fry. The Diner on North Mission, Mount Pleasant.
Jenna Gates.
And Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Bryce Updegraff with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. Thanks to coaches and officials who put in the time to help student athletes achieve their dreams and goals. For all of your real estate needs, the Bryce is right with Bryce Updegraff. With Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. 989-620-6595.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Bottom of the 5th inning. Davenport with another opportunity at the plate as Purvis was caught trying to head home for the final out. It'll be ball 1 here to start off the bottom of the 5th inning to Ivy Davenport. Doubled and scored a run in the 1st inning. Popped out to the shortstop her 2nd time at the plate. Here comes another pop-up too short. Deshaun will make the play. She pops out of her glove for a moment. She does a great job of hanging on to it. But excellent defense around the diamond for both of these teams here in this one, especially think about how windy it is out here as well. Now stepping up is Emily Schenkel in the running for our Zaid Batchelder Baller of the Game, brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial. She had an RBI single in the 1st, walked and scored a run in the 4th. Also done a fantastic job behind the plate catching the speedy Ivy Davenport. Big swing and a miss on that one from Schenkel. Maylee Aiken is on deck. Quinn McMurphy behind her. Schenkel steps back in, batting from the right side. This one's going to be popped up, but it'll get out of play. Count will remain 0-2. Schenkel technically 1 for 1 with an RBI and a run scored, as that walk doesn't count, as an at-bat, just a plate appearance. That one will miss. The catcher, Schenkel, obviously a good eye, holds off on that one. Now steps back in on the right side. Still Coffee out there pitching for Freeland. That one will miss high, running the count to 2-2. Schenkel's going to crank this one to the outfield. It's going to get back up against the wall. Schenkel turns first, rounding into second with a stand-up double. Emma Lee Schenkel having herself an afternoon. Now 2 for 2 on the day with an RBI single and a double. And oh yeah, she has a walk and a run scored as well. Can you think about that? Zaid Batchelder, baller of the game, brought to you by our friends at Weber Brothers, brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial. I was thinking of the Weber Brothers Sawmill timber of the game as well, too. Schenkel's got a couple hard hit balls here in this one. Now stepping up, it's Maylee Aiken. Chance to drive in a run. That's going to bounce away from the catcher. That will allow Schenkel to take third base. And right now, the trouble, if you are Coach Rybicki for Freeland, is the way that Davenport's been on the mound. You feel like you can't give up this run from third base with one out. This one's going to be pop fouled on the first baseline. Charging towards the fence was McDonald to see if she could make a play on it, but it'll go foul. 1-1 now. The count's Aiken playing first base. It's 0 for 2 on the day. Schenkel at third, ready to charge in from home if a ball's put in play. And this one is roped to the outfield. It'll be fair. Schenkel is in to score. Coming into second, rounding and not heading to third base. But what a big hit there from Maylee Aiken. And this game, you feel like, has now opened up a bit as it's 5-1 Yellow Jackets with the lead on the RBI double from Maylee Aiken. Here comes Quinn McMurphy, her last time up. She herself had an RBI double. But big-time hitting there from the last two girls. Schenkel sends one to the fence. Aiken pretty much sends one to the fence to drive in a run. It is now 5-1. Ithaca with the lead here in the bottom of the fifth inning. One out. Runner at second base at the plate is Quinn McMurphy. She will take strike one. At second base, ready to come in on a ball hit to the outfield is Maylee Aiken. That one's going to be high. 1-1 now the count to McMurphy. On deck is Whitmore. Last time she came up was in the fourth. She walked and came around to score. Big cut that time from McMurphy. She's way out in front of it. 1-2 now the count to Quinn McMurphy. A nice job at third base for the Yellow Jackets. 5-1 the score here in the fifth. She's going to hit this one high. It's going to be a pop out right to the catcher. Coffey barely able to make the play. A fantastic play from Coffey in the circle. The wind kind of carried that ball towards first base. She had to go on that run at the very last second. Did a fantastic job staying underneath it to make that play. Again, with that gust of wind that just happened out there, you could see the way she had to run and just go catch it at the last second. Big time play on the mound, or in the circle, I should say. Whitmore batting from the left side. Again, she walked and came around to score her last time up. There's two outs here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Runner at second base is Maylee Aiken after she drove in Emily Schenkel. Or pardon me, after she drove in, she drove in Schenkel. That one's going to miss. Whitmore steps back out. Steps back in. Bat over that left shoulder, batting from the left side. She's going to foul this one off. 2-1 now the count to Hayden Whitmore. And she walked her last time up. And was able to come around and score. Steps back in, batting from the left side. That one's going to miss. 3-1 now the count to Whitmore. Runner at second base for the Yellow Jackets. There's two outs here in the bottom of the fifth inning. They lead at 5-1. This one's going to be popped towards short. Not able to make the play. Would have been an unbelievable play at short. Trying to close in on it was Deshawn. Emma Deshawn would have made the play of the year if she would have been able to come up with that one from her shortstop position into the outfield. The runner does have to hold at third. Whitmore is on with a seeing eye single right there. It's the second time Ithaca's had a ball just hit where Freeland's not. It just hanging in the air. You thought they might be able to get underneath it and make a play, but it's dropped into a perfect spot for the Yellow Jackets. 5-1 the score. There's 2 outs. Runners on the corners for Ithaca. Taking ball 1 is Carly Bremen. She reached via single in the 4th. Ultimately got out, getting caught in between third and home. That one will be fouled off down the third baseline, out of play. 1-1 the count. To the DH for the Yellow Jackets here in game number 1 of 2. Boy, only broadcasting game number 1. It's battery and all that. Maybe next year we'll have, the double headers figured out. Looking for a call, third strike there. It seemed like the way everybody ran in for Freeland. They don't get it. 1-2 is the count with 2 outs. That one will be high. Count now 2-2. Purvis on deck. She's 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a strikeout. Then it's back to the top of the order for the Yellow Jackets. They lead it 5-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning, threatening with 2 outs and runners on the corners. That one's going to bounce away from the catcher. Speeding in, trying to score. It's getting called safe at home will be Amelie Aiken. She comes around to score. Moving up to second base will be Hayden Whitmore. Bremen back at the dish. The count is now 2-2, or I think it's going to be 3-2 after they dust off the plate here. But another run comes across for Ithaca on the pass ball. It is now 6-1 Yellow Jackets with the lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning with 2 outs. That one's going to miss high in the count. Yeah, that will run it to another walk here. Taking her base is Bremen. Here comes Estes Purvis with 2 runners on. Big moment here for the left fielder. It's already 6-1 Ithaca. Kind of opened it up the last 2 innings. It was 1-1 going into the bottom of the 4th inning. Jackets got 3 across. They've now got 2 more across here in inning number 5. They lead at 6-1. Taking strike 1 is going to be Purvis. She did strike out her last time up. And Coffey's been pretty solid on the mound, particularly that first time through, but Ithaca, just a really, really strong lineup. They are going to put some runs up on you. Here comes the 0-1. That's going to bounce in there. It's going to get away from the catcher, moving up to third base. It's actually might have plunked Whitmore in the hand there as she was scampering into third base. Moving up to second base is going to be Bremen. So now 2 runners in scoring position here for the left fielder Purvis. 1-1 is the count. It's back to the top of the order, and Kennedy Ryan after this, who had an RBI single her last time up. The umpires, Coach Schenkel, making sure Whitmore's good at third base. She's a lot tougher than I am. She's back on the bag, ready to run home if she needs to. Purvis steps back in, batting from the right side. She'll swing and miss at that one. They look to throw it down to third base to get that lead out. It gets away from the third baseman. Now they look to go home. Sliding in safely is Whitmore. Bremen kind of danced ahead of second base, going to third before Whitmore had gone home, so she's not able to take third base. But another run comes across for the Yellow Jackets. 7-1. They lead it, and a lot of these runs coming with 2 outs here in this inning number 5. Checking the swing on that one was Purvis. It will be strike 3 as she goes down on strikes, but the Yellow Jackets get 3 more across. They now lead it 7-1 here in Ithaca. Back with more right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. The Diner, where homemade favorites come to life every day for breakfast and lunch. From fluffy pancakes to savory sandwiches, The Diner has your cravings covered. Discover the perfect blend of comfort food and camaraderie at The Diner. Join them every Friday night till 7 for their famous fish fry. The Diner on North Mission, Mount Pleasant.
Jenna Gates.
And Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Bryce Updegraft with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates thanks the coaches and officials who put in the time to help student athletes achieve their dreams and goals. For all of your real estate needs, the Bryce is right. with Bryce Updegraff. With Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. 989-620-6595.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Again, those umps working fast, and they need to try to make sure they can get both of these games in as well. It's already quickly an 0-2 count as we're back to the top of the order here in the top of the sixth inning. Bryn Jamie at the plate. She struck out her first two appearances. That will be a theme that you will hear throughout the lineup going through a third time as Davenport has 8 strikeouts on the day. That one's going to be a foul tip. Count will remain 0-2. Beautiful day here at Ithaca High School, or some look at Terre Hesburg. This is still called this Ithaca High School. We're still technically on campus here. I think I say we're just a little stone's throw away from Ithaca High School and the beautiful football field here. Stepping back up to the plate is Jamie. She's down the count 0-2. So one's going to be lined towards third. It'll get through for a base hit, and that's one of those plays that some people might rule that an error as it kind of got by, at third base, McMurphy a little bit, but there ain't no way I'm coming up with that ball, so that's getting ruled a single here for this guy. But a big-time leadoff hit there for Freeland. That's what they need. Down 6, down to their final 6 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Davenport winds and deals. Swinging through that one is going to be Jessica Mayette. And they have subbed her out. Big shout out to a couple Freeland fans here for giving me some love. In now is Sophia Kepf. And they're going to look to steal second base. They do get away. Nice backup there out in center field for Ithaca, not allowing that runner to take third base. Stolen base there for Jamie, showing that speed. Sophia Kopf stepping back up to the plate, and pardon me for any Freeland people if I'm butchering that one. Comes the next pitch, swinging and missing at that one. And it will be another strikeout for Ivy Davenport. That is number 9 on the afternoon. Whew, what a game she's having. What a year she's having. What a career she's having, you could say. And missed a whole bunch of last year with an injury. You would not tell seeing her on the mound today. Kowalski steps back in, batting from the left side. That first one's going to be low. It'll miss 1-0. Davenport back in the circle. That right foot on the rubber, ready to push off and get all the speed she can. Ask Coach Schenkoff, fast throws. It's just 60s, just kind of very casually as there's another base hit there. That will bring in a run, and a big-time run for Freeland as Bryn Jamie comes in on the RBI from Jenna Kowalski. So it's now 7-2, and if you are Freeland, you kind of get the old Lloyd Christmas going of like, we still got a chance in this one here. And it's going to take a lot of work against Davenport in that circle. Stepping back in now is Madeline McDonald. She had an RBI single her last time up. She puts one to the gap here, maybe another RBI single. That's going to be in for a strike. They're going to throw back behind the runner. It's going to get away from first base, allowing that runner to take second base. A great piece of base running there from Kowalski. She's now at second after driving in the run. 7-2 is the score here in the top of the 6th inning. Yellow Jackets lead it. Davenport has struck out 9 in the circle for the Yellow Jackets. Stepping back in is Madeline McDonald. This one's going to be popped out of play. Back into the circle is Davenport. Think about the win she had last week, shutting out the #1 team in the state. This one's going to be rocketed out towards center field. Coming in to make, actually it's going to get muffed out there in center field. That'll allow that runner to move up to third base, and now moving up to second base after a little misplay there as well is going to be Madeline McDonald. So now you have runners at second and third. It is a 5-run game. There is one out here in the top of the 6th inning. Stepping to the plate is Grace DeShone here in a big moment. Now a meeting on the mound, repeating everybody. No Coach Schenkel out there. It is Coach Schenkel from behind the plate, Emily Schenkel, coming out, making sure everybody is good to go. And that's the one thing about softball. You are a dominant pitcher like Ivy Davenport. You struck out 9. you're still going to give up some runs. That's softball. I don't want to say it's easier to hit than the baseball, just a little bit bigger, but just very, very rarely are you going to see the perfect game or that 10-11 strikeout game in high school softball, even with a girl like Davenport against a team like Freeland. Here's a pop out to third base. Coming in to make the play easily from third for the Yellow Jackets is Quinn McMurphy. And so that's probably something right there for you, the Yellow Jacket girls. You can just kind of breathe a little easier after you get that pop out. There's now 2 outs with runners on second and third. Stepping up to the plate is Sophia Price. She is 0 for 2 on the day. She struck out and lined out to the pitcher. The line out to the pitcher, though, was a very hard hit ball. It just happened to be right back to Davenport in the circle. Davenport winds and deals. That one's going to miss low. 1-1 the count to Sophia Price. Runners on second and third. It's a 7-2 ball game. Now their final 4 outs now are Freeland. Davenport winds, deals. That one's going to bounce away. A great job by Schenkel keeping that one in front of her. Think about the speed, the movement that Davenport has. Once that goes in the dirt and squirts away a little bit, you're just fighting for your life to keep it in front of you. A fantastic play from Schenkel behind the plate. Davenport winds, deals. This one's going to be fouled off. Count will now run to 2-2. Davenport, 9 strikeouts on the afternoon. She would love to get number 10 here. And you heard me say it earlier. Games with 10, 11 strikeouts they are a rarity. That's how good she's pitching out there today. She winds, deals, takes something off of that one. Nice job staying alive at the plate by Sophia Price as she fouls this one down the third baseline. 7-2 the score. Top of the 6th inning. Due up for the Yellow Jackets, we'll say brought to you by Clark Modular Homes and Weefrich Financial. It is the top of the order with Kennedy Ryan, Emma Janes, and Ivy Davenport. Pulling the string on that one was Davenport. It's just going to miss. It'll run the count full to 3-2. Deshaun on deck, Price at the plate, runners on second and third. 7-2 is the score here in the top of the 6th inning. And it will be ball 4. Taking her base is Sophia Price. That will load them up. That'll bring, I guess I want to say the game-tying run. That Spockman math never so good. It's a 5-run game. She can get 4 runs if she hits a homer here. 7-2 our score. Top 6. Bases are loaded for Emma Deshaun. She's going to swing at the first pitch. She's going to foul that one back. Deshaun singled her last time up and was stranded. She almost made the catch of the year out in shallow left field. Steps back in, batting from the right side. Bases are loaded, full of Falcons. Davenport back in the circle. Winds, deals. Pulling the string on that one. Out in front was Deshaun. The count is now 0-2. Problem with the bases being loaded, if you're Davenport, you can't really bounce one in there because you don't want that runner to come in from third. This one's going to be popped up down the first baseline. It will just get out of play on top of the Freeland dugout. From first base, Aiken was almost able to make a play on it. Count remains 0-2. Deshaun steps back out, couple big practice swings. Bases loaded. 5-run lead for the Yellow Jackets. Pulling the string on it is Davenport. She gets punch out number 10 through 6th. Woo, and that was a tough one to deal with at the plate for Deshaun. We are headed to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Yellow Jackets lead at 7-2 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Get your yard ready for spring and summer with Martinez Lawn Care. Martinez Lawn Care is scheduling spring cleanups now, along with bush and tree trimming, landscaping needs, and scheduled mowing services. Find Martinez Lawn Care on Facebook or call them at 989-317-5536. Weefrich Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weefrich Financial. Weefrich Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeefrichFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Weefrich Financial, member SIPC. Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. It is the bottom of the sixth inning. The Yellow Jackets lead at 7-2. Freeland just had a moments ago where they could have, I guess, not tied this game up, but really made it a whole lot different. Bases left loaded for Freeland, but easier said than done when you're going up against Ivy Davenport, who has struck out 10 through 6. Here comes Kennedy Ryan to lead things off for the Yellow Jackets. She'll ground one past third base for a base hit. So a leadoff single for Kennedy Ryan, who, if it wasn't for Ivy Davenport, Emily Schenkel might be in the running for our Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, as she is now 2 for 3 on the day. She popped out the short, had a sacrifice bunt, an RBI single, and now another single here for Kennedy Ryan, leadoff hitter for the Yellow Jackets. Here comes Emma Janes. With the throw behind Ryan, she's able to dive back safely at first base. Couple big practice swings for Emma Janes. Playing second base, steps back in, 1-0 count. Coffey winds and deals. She'll miss on that one, 2-0 now the count. And I mentioned Ryan having a great day now. 2 for 3. Janes is 0 for 2, but behind her, Davenport's 1 for 3, the double and a run scored. And then behind her, Emily Schenkel is technically 2 for 2. She's also got a walk. She's got an RBI and 2 runs scored. She's also been great behind the plate. 2-1, now the count to Janes. That's going to miss high, 3-1. Down 5 in the sixth inning. The last thing you want to do if you are Freeland is let the 2 leadoff runners get on for Ithaca. Big swing and a miss for Janes that time. That'll run the count full to 3-2. Davenport on deck. She would love to have an opportunity with a couple runners on. This one's going to be popped deep out here into right field. It's going to be out of play. Good hustle trying to chase that one down from Deshawn in her shortstop position. And also from, I guess, Grace Deshawn and Emma Deshawn. Left field, shortstop, both given charge to that one. Jane steps back in. Coffey with the pitch. This one's going to be hit right in between third and short. Nowhere for Kennedy Ryan to go. Matter of fact, she almost could have been thrown for the force out at second base, but the leadoff runners are on for the Yellow Jackets here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Just the way you want to do it. Your number 1, your number 2 hitter gets on, and here comes your number 3 hitter with a chance to drive in a run or 2. And with the speed she has, maybe sacrifice as well as, something could happen here. Davenport swings at the first pitch. It's going to go right up the middle, stepping on second base for the tag, but she fumbled it a little bit. Everybody's going to be safe for Ithaca. The bases are loaded with Emily Schenkel coming up, and she has had herself a day. An RBI single in the first. Walked and scored a run in the fourth. Doubled and came around to score in the fifth. Now the bases loaded here in the sixth for Emily Schenkel. The Yellow Jackets lead at 7-2, looking for a little bit more insurance here, heading to the top of the seventh inning. Schenkel batting from the right side. Just going to pull his first one. Great catch out at first base. Somehow coming in to make that play was Madeline McDonald. And so Schenkel harmlessly pops out to first base, but the problem is the bases are still loaded with Maylee Aiken up to the plate. She had an RBI double her last time up. 7-2 remains the score here in the bottom of the sixth inning. The Yellow Jackets looking for some more insurance runs with the bases loaded and just one out. Aiken steps back in. So it's going to be grounded to first. It's going to eat up first base a little bit, trying to get there for the tag, and they will, but one run is across for Ithaca. It's going to make it 8-2. We're going to call that a sacrifice RBI for Aiken, and a great play over there at first base. Madeline McDonald got it, was able to get back to the bag just in time to get the out. Quinn McMurphy now up to the plate. She's had an RBI double and popped out twice. 1 for 3 on the day. She's also scored a run for the Yellow Jackets. It is 8-2 Ithaca here in the top of the 6th inning with 2 outs, and we're now going to have a quick meeting of the minds on the mound, or in the circle. Give me a moment to thank some more of our fantastic sponsors. J&J Auto, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, Konwinski Construction, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, E&S Graphics, along with G&S Mechanical, and our friends at Mount Pleasant Public Schools. They're hiring bus drivers. Those bus drivers have paid training and full benefits. Go to mtpleasantschools.net. That's mtpleasantschools with an S.net. Coffee ready to go here. This one's going to be fouled down the third baseline for McMurphy. Inning started with Kennedy Ryan singling, Jane single, Davenport reached. Then it was a pop out to first base from Emily Schenkel the first time she got out in this ball game. Then Maylee Aiken had a sacrifice RBI moments ago. Runners at second and third for Ithaca with Quinn McMurphy at the plate, who's 1 for 3 on the day with an RBI double. She's also scored a run. 1-1 the count. So it's going to be fouled down the third baseline. 1-2. Coffee back in the circle. And she's given up 8 runs. But again, if you're a pitcher, you come into every game knowing you're going to give up a run or 2. She's not been bad in the circle today. Big swing and a miss. Going down on strikes will be McMurphy. We are headed to the top of the 7th inning. Now, Freeland is going to need a bit of a rally here to stay in this one. Actually, keep things right here. Ivy Davenport heading out onto into the circle. She has got 10 strikeouts on the afternoon. I'm just going to make sure I'm right. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third gives her 5, 2 in the fourth gives her 7, 1 in the fifth gives her 8, 2 in the sixth gives her 10. She's 1 strikeout away from 500 in her career. And you heard me talk about it. Striking out 10 in high school softball, something that just doesn't happen. High school baseball, you get a really good guy out there that can mow down some batters, has a really good curveball. You'll see 10 strikeouts in high school baseball from time to time. You do not see it in high school softball. So the fact that she is closing in on 500, 1 away from 500 as we start the top of the 7th inning here, Ithaca taking on Freeland. The Yellow Jackets lead at 8-2 here in the top of the 7th inning. It's Isabel Ranke up for Freeland. She had a sacrifice bunt, and she has struck out. That one's going to be in the dirt, 1-0. Brielle Coffey is on deck. She has struck out both of her times at the plate. Here comes the 1-0 from Davenport. Big swing and a miss that time from Ranke. The count 1-1. Davenport back in the circle. Senior pitcher winds, deals. That one's just going to miss. 2-1 the count. On deck, as I mentioned, is Coffey. Then it's back to the top of the order with Bryn Jamie. Davenport with the 2-2. Big swing and a miss there for Ranke. Davenport. 2-2 count. Looking for strikeout 500 here. Check swing is just holding up at the plate as Ranke. The count is now full. 3-2. Davenport winds, deals. There it is! Strikeout 500 looking as Ranke goes down. And a big, big congratulations to Ivy Davenport, who actually has no clue that she has just reached 500 strikeouts. And so you might see a little, what's going on here on the mound from Davenport? She has no clue that she has reached 500 strikeouts. A big congratulations to her. And she just seems like she's kind of chuckling out there on the mound a little bit right now. Seems like one of those girls that she's like, I don't care. I've got a game to finish. Let's keep on rolling here. But everybody coming in to give her a little bit of love, and you can see it there at the 500 strikeout sign. And also probably wants to give credit to her catcher as well, Emily Schenkel. But a big congratulations to Ivy Davenport. 500 strikeouts for her career. And as you heard me say earlier, she's been out with injury a lot last year, and so a big-time accomplishment from the senior star in the circle for the Ithaca Yellow Jackets, reaching strikeout number 500 against Ranke moments ago, her 11th on the afternoon. I'll say that again, 11 strikeouts for Ivy Davenport. And this is a Freeland team that, come D2 in their districts, they could still make some noise. Swing and a miss there for Brielle Coffey. Coffey's 0 for 2 on the day with a pair of strikeouts. This one's going to be fouled off the backstop. Coffey quickly behind the count, 0-2. And now if you're Ithaca, probably not going to have to bat here in the bottom of the 7th inning unless Freeland really starts to put it together. 8-2 is our score here in the top of the 7th inning on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, little Ithaca Yellow Jacket softball. This one's going to be a high fly ball, not an easy play out in center field. It's going to go off the glove of Whitmore, but again, with that wind, that ball kind of sailing all over the place. Not an easy play to make out there in center field, and much different than an hour or two ago. The sun is absolutely shining now as well. So Coffey is going to get credit for a single on that one, as that was a tough play to make out in center field. But now we're back to the top of the order in Bryn Jamie. So as you hear me say often, the old Dumb and Dumber Lloyd Christmas, you're telling me there's a chance. That's what you're feeling right now if you're Freeland. You got that runner on. There is one out here in the top of the 7th inning. You trail it 8-2. Got a pinch runner coming in for the pitcher, Coffey. Now at the plate is Bryn Jamie. She reached via single, came around to score in the 6th inning. She struck out first 2 times up before she singled, came around to score. 8-2 is the score, 1 out, top of the 7th inning. Davenport, fresh off of 500 strikeouts, ready to roll. First pitch at Bryn Jamie is going to be over for a strike. But if you're Freeland, this is what you needed, back to that top of the order. Still just 1 out here in your last opportunity at the plate. This one's going to be hit hard towards left field right here at us. It's actually going to get over the fence, and I just missed that. And that one was gone. I'm waiting to see the umpire, or I'm waiting. It looked like that one went over the fence and back through it right here in front of me. All right, they're telling me you guys got better eyes still than I do right here. I'm telling the group of guys standing over to me as I'm trying to move the camera as well. But a big-time hit there. Now has runners at 2nd and 3rd for Jessica Mayette. So it'll be fouled off the backstop. So Jamie with the double, moving up to 3rd, is the pinch runner for Coffey. Here's Jessica Mayette at the plate. 8-2 is the score. 2 runners in scoring position. Still just 1 out for Freeland here. And their last opportunity at the plate unless they're able to come back and tie this. That's going to be on the low part of the strike zone to Mayette, or pardon me. There was a substitution for Mayette with Sophia Kolf coming in to hit for her. And that is who's at the plate. Sophia Kolf, not Jessica Mayette, pardon me. Swinging a bit, she goes down on strikes. That is strikeout number 12 of the afternoon for Miss Ivy Davenport, and strikeout 501 for her career. Runners remain at 2nd and 3rd, down to the final out with Jenna Kowalski at the plate. She's 1 for 3 on the day. She had an RBI single last inning to bring Bryn Jamie in to score. First pitch is over for a strike for Davenport. Again, if you're Kowalski, you're not thinking about doing anything except getting on base here. Home run, none of that really matters. You're down by 6 runs. Just need another base runner here. Davenport winds, deals. This one's going to be fouled off. Count now 0-2. And in this situation, down to the final out, I always talk about that runner on 3rd base. You're kind of afraid to bounce one up there if you're Davenport. Not the situation probably here if you can get the final out. So that run from 3rd is not necessarily going to hurt you. if you can try and get that strikeout. This one will be popped up. Not an easy play out towards right field. It's actually going to get down. 2 runs will come in for Freeland, and up to second base is going to be Kowalski with the double. And that was similar to a couple hits that Ithaca has had in this ball game, where it just kind of found a spot where nobody was. It was Estes Purvis and Kenny Ryan just kind of both in between it there. Not really anything for them to go get. Perfectly hit ball there from Freeland. 2 runs come in. It's now 8-4. Runner on second base. Things coming a little bit interesting here with Madeline McDonald at the plate. Still a lot of work for Freeland to do, but making it tough for Ivy Davenport and the Yellow Jackets. She's going to miss high on the first pitch. That'll be over for a strike. 1-1 now the count. It's actually Mayette now at the plate. Your boy gets the Freeland batting order goofed up here a little bit. Here comes a pop-up right to Kennedy Ryan, so it'll make it not matter all that much, as that'll bring us to the end of the ball game. The Yellow Jackets a winner 8-4 in a game where Ivy Davenport reaches strikeout number 500 of her career. I think that might give things away a little bit in who our Zaid Batchelder baller of the game is going to be, but we'll talk about that and a whole lot more coming back with our Bird All-American Grill post-game show here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Elevate your banking experience. Isabella Bank is your local banking partner. We understand the importance of personalized service, providing solutions that fit your unique needs. When you bank with us, together we can drive positive change and build stronger communities. Experience banking redefined. Make the switch today and experience banking that goes beyond. Isabella Bank. Local. Growing. Staying. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Bryant Family Farms would like to wish everyone good luck on the field and on the court. Bryant Family Farms offers maple syrup, mums, pumpkins, beef, goats, and fresh cut flowers, with you pick, bouquet arrangements, and subscription flowers. Bryant Family Farms, 3.5 miles south of the casino on South Leeton Road. Visit BryantFF.com or call 989-304-1201. All Seasons Fireworks is a big fan of all the athletes, coaches, officials, and volunteers who make high school sports happen. To make your next event bigger and brighter, stop by All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. Graduations, birthdays, weddings, or a big win become more memorable underneath a night sky lit up by the magic of fireworks. All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to Ithaca one more time on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We'll put a bow on this one with a Bird All-American Grill post-game show. 501 or 2 career strikeouts is that now for Miss Ivy Davenport. 501 it is. A big, big congratulations to her. Big moment in this game. You got to go back to a couple different innings. The Yellow Jackets manufactured 1 run in the first, and then we went to the 4th inning, tied at 1 apiece. They got 3 across in the 4th, 3 across in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, made it 8-4 the final. Ithaca Yellow Jackets are victorious. You think about our play of the game, our baller of the game. Well, started being a decent, thing for Emily Schenkel. She had, 2 for 2 on the day with an RBI single, 2 runs scored, and a double. But when you reach strikeout number 500 and 501 for your career, you're going to get the Bills Custom Fab Fabrication of the game, the Mumford Oil and Supply Assist of the game, the Weber Brothers Sawmill Timber of the game. That can go to Miss Emily Schenkel. But our Zaid Batchelder Baller of the game, brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial. Miss Ivy Davenport with her 501st strikeout. She also doubled and scored the first run of the game for the Yellow Jackets. Was 2 for 4 on the day. The Ithaca Yellow Jacket girls are now 18-3. They got another game versus Freeland, but looking in really good shape to win. They're part of the Tri-Valley Conference. And you think about that Division III softball playoff. Clare, Everett, Ithaca. Ooh, man, it's good in this area. The thing is, Clare and Everett are going to play in the opening district, and so that is going to be a fantastic matchup. Ithaca, Clare, or Everett, we could see that matchup again later this year. I got a feeling in that D3 playoffs. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in, along with Terry Hesbrook and Coach Shelby Schenkel, making it possible for me to do my first ball game down here at Ithaca in the outfield. And as baseball and softball go on, we're continuing to learn a whole lot about how we're going to be doing the broadcast bigger and better than ever next year. I've already got a bunch of ideas trying to get the ADs to let me cut some holes in fences, and we'll see if they let me do that and whatnot. But our final here, Ithaca 8, Freeland 4, our baller of the game, brought to you by Weefrich Financial, and shout out to my main man, Zaid Batchelder. Miss Ivy Davenport reaching 500 strikeouts in her career. We've got more softball coming up tomorrow. Merrill, Sacred Heart Academy, MSAC action here